Hello, friends. Do you remember that time I said, hey, I'll show you that half of the craft room on Tuesday? And then Tuesday came and I didn't do that. Do you guys remember that? It was so long ago, like ages. I'm just teasing. Obviously, I was not feeling up to sewing over the weekend, which is totally okay. We were outside playing and it was wonderful. But now I get to show you that half, and we get to continue working on this quilt along that we started. So let's put you where you belong over there on the table. So close your eyes and then I'll tell you when to open them. Are they closed? I guess you really can't tell me. Okay, I'm gonna hide the camera whether they're closed or not, just in case. Ta-da! Is that not amazing? All right, full disclosure. This is not plan A. This is not plan B. This is not plan C. I'm pretty sure we're somewhere down to like plan H or something. But I love this cabinet so much. So I'm actually really grateful that everything just kept falling through because this is a winner. So not only do we have all the fabric higher up on the wall, but that means we could finally build my big ironing station here too. This has so much more functionality and flow. It is so satisfying. I just have to show you this because I can iron this whole piece on this table and not have any drag. I mean, look at that. Oh, why did I wait so long to do this? There's, I think, one more finishing touch that I want to do, and it's just to put a cute little curtain down here so it hides my mini fridge, which was my Mother's Day gift. Amazing choice, family. I just want to put a little curtain down there to like make it cutesy, and then this space is totally done, which is so exciting. And there's a lot of prime real estate over there where my ironing station used to be. So I'm thinking, what shelves can I put there so I can hoard more stuff? It just never ends. If I free a space, I fill a space. It's kind of just how it works here. But I was just really excited to show you guys. And so thank you for your patience. I hope it was worth it because I love it so much. So anyways, let me give you a recap on our quilt along pattern here. This is the Flower Checks quilt. I will link it below. There is one episode before this one where we worked on this middle star right here. So today we are going to do the outer points of this bigger star, and we're actually going to make this square right here. So that seems like kind of a jump, but that is what is next in the pattern. So I figure we'll just run with it. And then next week we get to do all the strip piecing for these flowers and the checkerboard. I don't know what is with me lately, but we are all about the strip piecing because this is strip piecing. And then we did the cute little patchwork squares, which are strip piecing. I'm just sensing a theme. Let's make the outer points for this star here. And I'm so excited because now we get to add some blues to it and these colors will kind of make more sense. I like the bold a lot, but this will help them be a little bit more cohesive and make a little more sense. We are going to make some half square triangles. So let's grab our big ones and we're going to make quite a few. This is the 2 at a time method and we need, I think it's 16. Yep, it's 16 half square triangles. So I have 8 squares of my dark and 8 squares of my light. We are going to put right sides together. I did not draw any diagonals today. But I have all of my rulers. So, I mean, there's progress. Little victories, little victories. We are going to put right sides together for those squares. We're going to draw a diagonal right through the middle. And we're going to sew a 1/4 inch to the right of that line and a 1/4 inch to the left. Then we will trim in half. But let's get that far. And there we have them. You can see my diagonal and you can see the seams on both sides. we are going to now trim right on that diagonal that we drew. And there we have half square triangles, 2 at a time, if my fingers will work. Hey, I just opened you. Cuties. I love this blue cross stitch with this floral. They are like a match made in heaven. They are so happy together. I am going to trim through the rest of these, but for ironing, I'm going to pick one side and iron up and over. It'll probably be this darker blue. Iron that up and over, and then we will talk about trimming those down to size. So let me work through cutting all of these in half. I'm going to pick up my mess that I made just to show you how cool this is. And then I will iron all of mine. And maybe, just maybe, this table is as magical as my ironing board, and it'll trim them for me. Will you please? I just love you so much. Trim all my half square triangles too, please. Time will tell. We'll see you in a sec. Well, what's the verdict? What's the guess? Is my ironing table magical or not? Of course it is. Such a good half square triangle trimmer. I'm proud of you. Let's trim this last one together. We are going to use that 45-degree angle in our ruler, and we're going to line that up with the angle in the middle of our half square triangle. And then we're going to leave a little extra around here on the edge so that we have something to trim from all 4 sides. We're going to go up the right and across the top. Just tiny baby scraps on this one. There is not a lot of wiggle room. And then we are going to flip it and then line it up with exactly what we need on this side. Still lining it up with the 45 if I don't move it where it shouldn't be. And then trim on the right and trim on the top again. I do feel like we've trimmed a lot of half square triangles, so I'm trying not to make that super redundant, but it is what it is. So here is how we are building these points. This is a little bit different because you really could have just made giant flying geese, but this one is a little bit different. So we have 2 half square triangles here, and then we'll do a solid blue and then a solid floral, just like that. So we're doing a 4 square to give us this huge triangle point. Do you see that? And then it would just be the same thing for the other side, just rotated. So if you have directional fabric, this is where you want to be pretty particular on where it's going. I really don't care because this floral is all over the place anyways. But there we have 2 giant points for this star here. So obviously this is still going to be too big because we haven't taken out the seam allowances, but you can just kind of get the scale. These are big points. So let's assemble these. I'm going to put the top 2 together here and then the bottom 2. I will iron this, since this doesn't have anything in it like the half square triangles, I will iron this one up and over. And then same with the blue because there's no bulk in the blue. And then that way we have opposing seams for, you guessed it, some pretty good nesting. That'll help us get those nice and locked in there so that our points look really crisp. Let's work through each of these points. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points that I have to make, and then we will catch up. Whew! Holy giant star points, Batman. Those are no joke. Okay, let's put these together and then we will dry fit this block. Phew. And I was thinking as I was ironing, Remember when I was like, you could just make giant flying geese. Can you imagine making flying geese this big? I mean, let's get real. You could. There's probably a reason we're doing it this way though. Seriously. I don't know why this is so funny to me, but they are so big. And I feel like I've made a star or two in my time, and those are ginormous. Let's grab our middle. And let's get these pieces. You can't even see it. Okay, I'm doing my best, I promise. We just need enough to have the bottom on there. Oh my gosh. Okay. I know that you can't see all of it, but this is so cute together. So cute. Okay, let's get our corner pieces. Oh my gosh. There's half of the star. That's the best I can do for you. I mean, I could move the camera, but then we'd be like really like boof, zoomed out. So we're gonna put this together like we normally would do a star. We'll put the two side points onto our center star, giving us one big middle strip. And since you can't see the top, we'll do the same for the bottom, but we've got our points and we'll just sew on those corners, top and bottom. I'm gonna stop laughing at this star because I really do love it. I'm just overwhelmed by the size of it. Let's get this together and I will show you the world's biggest star. You ready? I know that I said I would stop giggling, but I cannot. Or maybe I will not. Look at this cute star. Oh my goodness. I love this so much. This is so fun. And I also realized that I made this ironing table the perfect size. It is literally the size of this star. So just in case you were wondering, here is our middle star. I know that I've mentioned this, but I have never done a pattern that is like this. Like I've only done blocks, right? So I guess this has to be big because we're going to grow from there, but this is just blowing my mind. One more for good measure. I really feel like this escalated quickly. All right, these corners are going to go quickly, so we're just going to tack them on the end here. I really do think it's worth it. This is for the large square only, so I'm doing the biggest size in here. So if you can see here on the corners, you have like this orangey color and this purple color. Ours actually has 3 colors in it because we're doing the larger size right here. So this is kind of what we're looking at. I'm trying hard not to tell you measurements, but I may slip because I think this would be easier to explain if I told you numbers. I really do think you should support Sarah B. Sews. I was really close. I really do think you should support her if you'd like this pattern, but I'm trying not to divulge all of her secret information. Super secret. This is how these are going to go. We have our cute pink gingham. Oh, that I just remembered I still have not listed in the shop, so that's fun. And then we'll have the light pink and then our white. Originally, this pattern wanted me to do 3 squares, just like that, and we'd make like a cute little 9 patch. It looks like I have to cut more squares actually. But here is what I thought. Instead of doing the 2 squares, I just made 1 long strip. That way the pattern isn't as choppy. Instead of doing two 3.5-inch squares, I did one big 6.5-inch strip, which combined with that square will still give us the overall size that the pattern is asking for. But for my brain, this was just like a little bit of consolidation, and I really liked it. And honestly, that is just 2 less seams that I have to iron, right? It's all about consolidating the ironing. This one will go together pretty easy. We'll sew the square onto my strip, or if you're doing 2 squares, then you'd sew all 3 of those squares together. Then we have the 3 middle squares, and then the strip and my white. I'm just going to make sure that all of these go the direction that they need to. We get to make 4 of those, so I'm going to stop talking and saying random stuff. Here we go. And there we have those corner pieces. I love how it turned out to be like an ombre there. In the pattern, they did a totally different fabric here, something that they hadn't used before just for this square. I didn't want to add a random fabric, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't because I love the way that this looks. And then I just repeated that same process for each of the corners. These are adorable. Cannot wait to add them. They're not going on yet. If you remember, these are a little bit, these are a little bit farther out here in the corners. So we get to hold on to these for a little bit. Next week, we get to do all of these flowers. So lots of strip piecing here, but I am so excited for these flowers because I think they're going to be adorable in this dark pink and the light pink. Phew, we made it through today. This was a lot of recording. I know it won't be that long after I edit it, but man, that actually took quite a bit. So if you are working on this one, it is simple, which I love, but it takes a minute to get all these pieces together. Just a heads up, set some time. And of course, here is my plug for Pineberry. There still are quilt kits available if you're interested in the fabric. We are totally pink heavy, which I think is so funny. We have sold all quilt kits as pink kits except for one red. Isn't that funny? I love them both and I think they're both adorable. I just did not expect them to be that lopsided. That is so fun. If anything, I thought you guys would go for red more than pinks. That's a happy little surprise. I love that. If you don't need the pattern and you want the fabric though, I will refund you for the pattern. You just have to let me know. If you want the pattern and access to the workshop, that is also a separate listing on the site. And then the third listing is just the Zoom link. So just admission to the class. So if you already have the pattern, then it's a little bit cheaper just to get the Zoom link, which actually has been doing pretty good. So I think it was a good idea to make that option. And I think we'll just keep up with that for future workshops to have 3 separate listings, just the link and the pattern, the link, the pattern, the fabric. It's a lot, but I think it is easier for a lot more people. Anyways, there's a quick little update for it. I cannot wait to sew with you guys in that workshop. I am so excited for it. We will see you on Tuesday for hopefully some more sewing, but we'll see if I get sucked outside again. Time will tell. We'll see you, friends. Bye.